This where I feel the Nintendo Switch 2 is possibly going to be a failure in my personal opinion, and that is because of, yo, what up, squad? All right, so the other day, man, Nintendo, y'all, they dropped a bomb on us, or I guess I should say it ain't really a bomb because we kind of already knew what was coming because of all of the crazy leaks that had came out. But in this video right here, y'all, I kind of want to talk about the Nintendo Switch 2 from the perspective of someone after all of the hype has went down, right? Because there's some things about this new Nintendo Switch 2 that kind of got me thinking, is it really worth you guys upgrading or even worth you buying in the first place? Let's have a conversation and let's discuss, all right? Now, to preference this, the only thing I can really go off of is what I seen in the trailer of this video here, right? Since I don't really physically have a unit in my hands to be able to test and try out. Now, the first thing that I kind of want to talk about that I feel like is going to be the most noticeable change is the display and the screen size, right? Now, the first thing I got to say is I love the display. I love the screen size that they decided to go with, right? Because now we're on an 8-year cycle from the OG Nintendo Switch. It is nice to see that they're upgrading this to kind of keep up with some of the newer handheld gaming devices that came out this year. One being like the ROG Ally, the Ally X, the Lenovo Legion Go, the MSI Claw, the Steam Deck. All of these different devices all have, you know, larger size screens as well as the PlayStation Portal. Y'all know I couldn't leave that out. All of these having larger displays, man, is a W. So I love the fact that Nintendo decided to also go that route as well. The other thing I kind of want to talk about that I feel like will be a major L, and that is if the large screen is not an OLED display. I'm gonna be hurt, man, and I feel like I'm gonna hurt somebody. I hate because anything other than that, it really honestly just wouldn't make sense, especially since they already have a Switch OLED that is already out. So Nintendo, please make that happen, all right? Now, the other thing that I noticed with this Nintendo Switch that I do not like, and that is the large bezels, y'all. I do not understand why Nintendo decided to go with these crazy large bezels with this large display. You had an opportunity to give us some real screen real estate on top of increasing the screen size, but it might be fine. I don't know, man. I really can't tell until I actually get it here in the house to be able to judge it, you know, fairly. But just off looking at the trailer, them large bezels, man, they ain't it, all right? Now, the next thing I want to go ahead and touch on, and that is the I/O ports as well as the buttons that we are getting on this new Nintendo Switch 2 from the OG that I got right here in my hands. Now, first thing that they put on here is obviously our USB-C port that's going to be on the bottom of the Switch. This did not change. It's the same thing that we're getting on the OG Switch that we already got. But what I did notice was the two new speaker grills that they have at the bottom, which should honestly give us some solid audio quality whenever we want to lay this thing kind of flat down on the surface. And we can be able to get those down firing speakers that's kind of going to be somewhat of, I guess, front firing speakers to a certain degree, because the old Switch that we got right here don't have that, all right? So I'll take it. But on top of that, one of the things that I do like that they kind of improved from the looks of it is the power button as well as the volume buttons. First thing I noticed is on the OG Switch here, the style of the buttons here is more of a plastic style versus on the new Switch 2, these kind of look like they're going to be more of a rubberized texture, which I feel like is going to be good to the point where we don't have to worry about like our finger kind of sliding off of it. And I feel like with these rubber ones, it's going to be really easy to kind of put our fingers there to be able to look at it or to be able to press it and interact with it without having to look down on it, taking our eyes away from the screen. The major change that I noticed that we are getting is the USB-C port on the top. This right here is clutch because so many times, y'all, I wanted to go ahead and plug in a charge cable on the top of my Switch to go ahead and just kind of keep me playing whenever I was just kind of in the thick of it, right? Without having to plug it in on the bottom, because I'm gonna be real with y'all. If you've had to plug in on the bottom of your Switch, y'all, I'm telling you, it is no bueno, y'all. Especially when you on the go, it just feels like the cable is in the way. You know what I mean? Now, the last thing that I feel like I kind of want to talk about, that is the stand, right? Let's go ahead and get into this stand, because the stand on the OG Nintendo Switch here was boo-boo. It was the worst design that I felt like they made with this here. And it honestly had me upset because I'm like, for the money that we spent on the OG Nintendo Switch here, they could at least given us a better stand. I don't understand why a lot of these manufacturers, when it comes to their stands, don't really give us new stands until the brand new Nintendo Switch 2. I love the fact that they gave us a stand that's gonna go across the entire back, and it has the flexibility to allow us to adjust the viewing angle to whereas if you guys are playing with multiple people or if you just kind of just wanna lay it flat, you can do so, and it's gonna be able to support it all the way across the back. Because this stand right here, man, you sit it down, right? Let me show y'all what I mean. You sit it down, and you see how wobbly it is, bro. Like, it don't you don't have a lot of confidence that this bad boy is going to stand up on his own, right? And this is something that I just did not like with the OG Nintendo Switch. Now, one of my concerns when it comes to this stand is, what is that stand actually going to be made out of, right? Is it going to be made out of like the same plastic that we got on this thing, which is just not good at all? Or is it going to be made out of like a solid aluminum material that's going to be good for lasting a long period of time? Because the plastic stand, like I said, on this OG Switch right here, man, it was tough to love this, man. I'm gonna be honest with y'all, all right? Now, the next thing that we gotta talk about is the Joy-Cons in themselves. So let's go ahead and take these bad boys off, because this is where I feel like we got a lot to unpack here. And some of the things that I didn't realize until actually after I saw the whole video. First off, y'all, the fact that these bad boys here are all blacked out, man, is so damn clean. Bravo, Nintendo, for the color choice. Honestly, I was never a fan of the red and blue Joy-Cons, which is why I decided to custom paint mine and get these bad boys to like just something just different other than that red and blue. All right. Now, the first question that I have on these is, maybe y'all can help me out with this down in the comments, and that is the center part of the Joy-Con here. Now, it looked like from the ad that you can actually press these things in and maybe hide them or something like that. I don't know, but I'm kind of curious on, is that something that we can do with these Joy-Cons here? It was kind of hard and confusing to tell. Second thing that I noticed with these Joy-Cons here, and they did it so quick that if you blink, you missed it, all right? And that is, it looked like the Joy-Cons can attach to something that's going to allow you guys to be able to use it in certain games, like a mouse or something like that. Now, I'm going to be real with y'all. I don't know if I technically like that as a feature with the Joy-Con, because let's be honest, right? Let me go ahead and put these back on here, and I'm gonna tell y'all what I mean. Whenever you guys are using the Nintendo Switch, the main purpose of the Nintendo Switch is to be able to play games on the go, whether you guys are out in a park, or whether you are at a swim meet, or whether you at a basketball game, or whatever it might be. You're out and about, you're not in your home. That is the purpose of having a mobile, I guess, handheld gaming console, all right? Whenever you guys want to use a mode like that, right? Let's say I take these Joy-Cons out and I'm out and about, I'm in a park somewhere. If I don't have a table to be able to do this on, am I supposed to like do this on my leg or do it on my shoulder? Well, like, what's the point of having like a mouse click feature like that if majority of the times, if I'm using my Nintendo Switch here, I'm out and about on the go, and most likely I don't have access to a like flat top table like this to be able to use it as a mouse or something like that. It honestly, I'm gonna be real with y'all, man. It's kind of a crazy idea that I don't really understand, and I don't know if it's really gonna be a useful feature, or is it just gonna be one of those things that is more of a marketing gimmick to get you to see that, hey, we've gotten some new features, when technically it's probably a new feature that most people just not gonna use. I don't know. Y'all let me know how y'all feel down below. Now, the major concern with the Joy-Cons that I personally like, that I see that the internet is kind of going crazy over, man, and that is the magnetic connector for the Joy-Cons. All right, now, in my opinion, I don't really think that these are really going to be a major problem. I saw this graphic here that I'll pop right up here on the screen that could kind of show you what could potentially happen if you guys don't take care of your Nintendo Switch 2. I feel like they're really not going to break that easily. Basically, what I'm saying is, take care of your stuff, man, and you ain't going to have these problems, all right? Now, there was another thing, man, that they did in this trailer, and that was rotate the thumbsticks. Now, I'm hoping, I'm praying, and I'm wishing, y'all, that this actually means that they are putting Hall effects inside of the thumbsticks, because I'm gonna be honest with y'all, man, I had major drifting issues when it came to the OG Nintendo Switch here. Now, I don't know if y'all want to admit it, but I'll sit up here and admit it for myself, y'all. The joysticks on these bad boys was not the best. I'm gonna be real with y'all. I'm gonna be honest. I'm gonna be transparent and keep it all the way a bean, all right? But I'm hoping this is not gonna be an issue with this new Nintendo Switch 2. Nintendo, I'm gonna need y'all not to be flexing in y'all trailers and in y'all ads, and then you come out with this new Nintendo Switch 2 and this bad boy got stick drift. I'm gonna be all over y'all head, all right? Also, I hope that they fix the connection to the system in itself. With the OG one that I have right here, especially when you guys are playing with multiple Joy-Cons and you're connecting to your docking station or you're connecting to your Switch here, I had way too many disconnecting issues, and it is just not the wave, all right? Especially when you guys, like I said, when you're playing in a group, or even if I'm just playing two-player games, all right? I was having connectivity issues so bad on this system here that it almost made it virtually impossible to just play with a group of people when it comes to the Nintendo Switch here, because I'm telling y'all, if they do not fix this, It is Nintendo. I'm gift wrapping this bad boy and sending it back immediately because y'all had 8 years. 8 years to get this bad boy right, all right? Let's get to it. Now, the next thing that we got, man, that I want to talk about, and that is the games in itself. This where I feel the Nintendo Switch 2 is possibly going to be a failure in my personal opinion, and that is because of the lack of games at launch. I'll say it now like I've said it on other consoles, whether it was Xbox, whether it was PlayStation, it doesn't matter. Games drive success of consoles, and it is not the other way around. Now, the hype has died down, right? So let's just go ahead and talk about what are the games that they're going to be bringing with this brand new Nintendo Switch 2. And the only thing that I saw during this entire campaign was this game right here, man. Mario Kart 9, right? Now, this is obviously not Mario Kart 9. This is Mario Kart 8. But the fact that we're launching a brand new system, right, with Mario Kart 9, I'm going to be honest, man. Mario Kart is a dope game, but it is not a game that you launch an entire console with. When Nintendo first came out with the Nintendo Switch here, they launched it with Zelda Breath of the Wild, which was major title, all right? We're talking Zelda fan lovers. I'm gonna be honest, the only reason I bought the Nintendo Switch was because of the new Zelda, all right? I wanted to play a major title game, and I feel like Nintendo, when it comes to the Mario Kart series, again, dope series, I love it, all of that, right? But it is not a launch console type of game, all right? I'm gonna be honest with y'all, if that is the only game that they're launching with this new Nintendo Switch 2, listen, man, I'm calling that the Nintendo Switch 2 is gonna be a failure because at this point, it's pretty much the same system that we got with the old one here. Like, I'm not seeing the crazy new advancements when it comes to the brand new Nintendo Switch 2. It almost feels like an S year or a Pro year that we got with other consoles, right? I don't know, man. It ain't really giving me that this is going to be something that everybody's going to want to run out and grab because, again, games drive sales of consoles, not the other way around. But with this, let's go ahead and kind of talk about this whole backwards compatibility thing because like I said in this video right up here, did a whole video talking about why I'm not a fan of backwards compatibility on consoles in today's age because a lot of these game developers are using that as a crutch to not create new games. We're getting remastered games and we're getting no new IPs when it comes to games because they're relying on old catalogs to be able to launch with new gaming consoles. And to me, Mario Kart 9 is not a launch type of game with a console, right? And the fact that, yes, we are getting backwards compatibility, but at that point, if I'm able to play a lot of my old games on a new system, then what's the point of me even getting a new system when I can just stick with the old system and still be able to play all of my same games on? It just doesn't make any sense, all right? Now, the last thing I want to kind of talk about and break down, and that is the new docking station. Now, I love the new look of this docking station, man, with the rounded edges versus kind of the squared off edges that we got with the OG Switch here. However, one thing that I do recommend that I noticed in this trailer is that you need to get a screen protector, man. Now, when I do my videos and when the new Switch comes out, I am going to have linked in this video here some screen protectors that I recommend that you guys get. One of the major issues that we had with this Switch was on the inside, it was so much of a hard plastic here that it kept scratching people's screens for a long period of time, man, to the point where people realized that they had to get screen protectors in order to be able to protect their Nintendo Switch from getting scratched whenever they would put it or dock it into their system. So what I recommend is that you go out, get you a screen protector, man, and I will have one link for you guys down in the description section below for whenever the Nintendo Switch 2 comes out. So whenever they come out, then I'll make sure to keep those down in the description section below. Now, finally, man, the other thing I kind of want to mention, and that is pricing, right? This one came out here, I think it was $299 when this first was released. It was $300 when the OG Switch released. If the new Nintendo Switch, based off of all of the things that I'm seeing, again, we don't have full specs yet on this new console, but in my personal opinion, from 8 years, and this is all that we got, I can only go up probably maybe $50 to $100. I'm gonna be honest with you. If it is over $400, I'm gonna be honest, it's a tough sell for me, man. Now, let's go ahead and just talk about what the absolute bottom line price that you guys are gonna be willing to pay for the new Nintendo Switch. Because again, for me, $400 max, anything over that, tough sell. Hey, it is what it is, all right? So to me, y'all, let's just go ahead and kind of wrap this up. After all of the hype has died down, how am I feeling about this new Nintendo Switch? In my opinion, I honestly feel like the new Nintendo Switch is more of a soft upgrade versus it being like a major upgrade, new features, new design, all these different things. It honestly just feels like a pro version of what we already had. I mean, let's be honest, man. I feel like with the new Nintendo Switch 2, we're getting a USB-C port up top, we're getting a larger screen, and we're getting some new color Joy-Cons and a new docking station color with rounded edges. And that's pretty much it. I don't know, man. It's a tough sell for me, but I want to know what you guys think, man. Go ahead and let me know. Hit that like button down below, as well as if you're new here, click on that subscribe button if you enjoyed this video. Thanks again, man. See you guys in the next one. Happy gaming, squad. We out.